So right around this time of the year, the temperatures are dropping. We're looking for fragrances that are spicy, that are boozy, that are sweet, that are gourmand leaning. Well, this new release by Etat Libre d'Orange has all of those things. This one is called Frustration. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on this brand new fragrance, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's video and I tell you all about the brand new fragrance by Etat Libre d'Orange called Frustration, I want to start things off by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon and click where it says enable all notifications. This way, whenever I do upload these daily videos, you won't miss any of them. And give this video a thumbs up if you learned something today or if you took something of value from today's episode. So, I remember doing a video not too long ago on The Ghost in the Shell, and that is an awesome fragrance by Etat Libre d'Orange. Now we have a brand new one, and this one is released just in time for the colder weather. Of course, today's date is November 5th, as of the time that I'm shooting this video. This fragrance is amazing. This fragrance is boozy, it's sweet, it's spicy, it has vetiver in the base, so it's definitely earthy. It has a bit of like a guaiac wood personality to it as well. And I believe you can find this one at Twisted Lily. So I'm gonna leave all of the information down below to where you can check it out. Twisted Lily is amazing. I've been using them for many years now, and I purchased many niche and indie fragrances from their store back then when they were in person in Brooklyn. I used to love visiting that store. They have a lot of really hard to find niche and independent brands, and here we have the brand new release from one of them. So Frustration, a spicy, boozy, sweet, and slightly earthy fragrance containing vetiver, chestnut, vanilla absolute, so on and so forth. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on the smell. Let's take a quick look at the presentation. So as I had mentioned before, the first thing that you're gonna notice when you smell this fragrance is obviously that booziness. So it opens up with this rum accord, and it's spicy in a very easy to get along with manner. I think a lot of spices out there, especially one that is listed in the note pyramid for this fragrance, which is cumin, if my recollection is correct. Cumin doesn't have necessarily the personality of being the most easy to get along with spice. However, the way that it's worked into this composition is actually very smooth. It has a very tender, mild sort of demeanor. It's not a loud screaming ingredient that vies to get your attention immediately. No. The cinnamon perhaps is going to be a little bit stronger than the cumin, and I feel like the cinnamon combined with the rum gives off a really interesting personality, almost kind of like a fireball accord. But the cinnamon is not as strong as some of the other sweet ingredients in here, like the vanilla. The vanilla is very warm and caressing, and it's beautifully delicious. And it's the type of vanilla that I think people look for. I think it's not a vanilla that is too childish or juvenile or even girly. I'm sorry for using that term, but these are all criticisms that I've read online over the past decade since I've been making videos on YouTube here. So I know for a lot of people, vanilla instinctively is not their favorite ingredient. And when they see it in the note breakdown, they might have a certain misconception about what the fragrance might smell like. So this one has the vanilla in here, but it's well-rounded. So you have the guaiac wood, you have the vetiver, and actually you smell the vetiver quite strongly. It is a little bit on the earthy and dirty side of things. Dirty not in the sense of it smelling unclean, but in the sense of it smelling like earth, right? That's what I'm trying to convey here. So it has this earthy texture about it that combines with the vanilla in a really peculiarly delightful way, right? It's a pleasant aroma. It's hard to describe. And obviously that chestnut accord that's in here reminds me of something that Maison Margiela might put out. And I know chestnut has been used in a few fragrances in the past, and it has a really nice influence about it. I think Emporio Armani might have used it in a few of their fragrances as well. And this fragrance, with that vetiver that's in the dry down, it kind of gives it more of a grown-up personality, if I can use that term. So the vanilla is strong, It's a bit more grown up. It's a bit more sophisticated. It does not come off juvenile in any way. So the ratio or the balance in terms of the vetiver and the vanilla is really 50-50. Neither one of these ingredients overpowers the other. The spicy introduction does eventually subside, so you're not going to get this spicy, bold cinnamon throughout the entire longevity of the fragrance. You might get it for an hour or two, and then it sort of settles down into this smooth vanilla dried down with that earthy texture. But this one is really, really nice. This one is a great fall and winter, slightly boozy, earthy, sweet, nutty personality that you can pull off very confidently despite the occasion. But I do think that this one is really going to shine in the colder weather. I can see this one being a bit overwhelming for some on a summer night, just because, you know, in the summer, especially when the sun is still in high gear, it can definitely help the performance and the projection specifically of the fragrance. And I can see this being the type of fragrance that could be a little bit cloying. So I think one of the criticisms for it might be that people would prefer to wear it in the colder weather. But you know what? Good news. We are in the fall. Currently, as I said, today's date is November 5th, so this is the perfect time to wear it. Actually, maybe not today. Today was in the 80s. But when the temperatures do drop a little bit, this is going to be dynamite. This one reminds me a lot of Divine Aphrodisiac by Navitus Parfum. And just because it does have that vanilla vetiver combination, so whenever I try that, I definitely think of a sensual, but also mysterious and sophisticated type of a personality. Not playful, not easygoing, not casual, not whimsical or capricious, none of those things. This is very sort of serious, but also very sultry, very mysterious, but very sensual and romantic at the same time. I think it's an amazing fragrance. Definitely get your nose on it if you have the opportunity to do so. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. Now, first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, I do love the combination of all of these ingredients. The rum, the cinnamon, the chestnut, the vanilla, the vetiver, the guaiac wood. Has a lot of really wonderful things happening in here. And I like how it doesn't have too much of any one of these things. So it doesn't have so much vanilla that it would have been a juvenile sort of younger catering fragrance, and it doesn't have so much vetiver that it's an old school powerhouse or anything like that. No, it's a nice balance of the two ingredients. Longevity is about 8 hours on my skin. The projection was great for the first hour of application. It became an elbows length scent right around hour 5, a skin scent right around hour 8. Versatility, perfectly unisex. You can wear this one in an office environment, just don't over apply. And of course, you can wear this one on a night out, on the evening. Definitely a very easygoing fragrance that conveys a more sophisticated personality as opposed to like a younger, more upbeat clubbing personality, right? It's not that kind of a vanilla. So it's not gonna be like a Stronger With You by Emporio Armani or like an Azzaro Wanted by Night. It's a little bit more dark than those fragrances. And I think this one would appeal to anybody of any age, but it does convey a certain sense of maturity about it. And in terms of the presentation, I love how this box opens. I think it's a really, really cool touch. And I think the bottle is really cool too. It has this sort of mirrored display on the inside if you didn't get the opportunity to see that during the presentation segment. And I love the gold hardware and this sort of illustration, if you will, that's here on the front with the embossed texture. My final verdict on this fragrance is it's an amazing fragrance for the colder weather. The brand has done it again. There's a lot of wonderful fragrances by this brand that I personally love. Fat Electrician is one of them. Fille de Dieu Duriz et des Agrumes is another beautiful fragrance from the brand. Spice Must Flow. I'm looking at some of the bottles that I have over there on my shelf, and this brand, I Am Trash, actually smells really wonderful too. So definitely try this one if you have the opportunity to do so. Really interesting, a bit strange, but very unique. And definitely a different name, Frustration. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.